King, the public figure, was an experiment to spread the message, to bring awareness. I've been on several podcasts, and when asked if I've ever taken steroids, I've always said no. I don't touch this stuff, not gonna touch this stuff, never touch this stuff. That was a lie.
What's up, Desktopers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are back with another video. And today we're discussing Liver King once again. He has confessed. There is a confession. He has said he has lied. He has been taking PEDs, well, all along, whatever you want to call all along. He goes into this in this. We're going to be reacting to his confession, which went actually up on his YouTube channel as well. I'm going to be featuring this, giving my perspective on it, and really, I suppose, dig into what he said he's done. Does he mention about his coach? Because there has been talk, obviously, about Vigorous Steve. I was actually, I think, the first one actually to mention it in one of my videos. But it's actually courtesy of you guys in the comments live, which is really cool. And it's a cool aspect of doing these lives because you guys, one of you suggested, I suggested Tony Huge and Gary Stridham, who are over there in Thailand. And then someone said Vigorous Steve. And I sort of worked off the times, and shout out to you guys. The Desktopers managed to sort of get that up and about. I don't know if Nick Trigilli went on that and he did some more digging. And then John Bravo has also done some more digging as well. And it seems like it's likely or allegedly could be Vigorous Steve who was coaching the Liver King. But let's get into this. I'm going to play this for you guys. I might have to mute my microphone while I'm playing it. And we'll get into what the Liver King has to say. And let me know if you can't hear me or Liver King or anything like that while this is happening. And also, we do have a poll up right now. I'll quickly pull this up. The poll is, actually, no, that's not it. Sorry, I'm on the wrong page there. The poll, which is here, it is, has your thoughts on finding out the Liver Kings on PEDs changed your views on eating liver? 7% of you so far say yes, it has changed your thoughts. I'll stop playing that on there. 80% say no, I knew he was on anyway, as in on PEDs. And then 13% says, no, I know the benefits anyway. So, yeah, most people saying it does not change your perspective on eating liver and the benefits. So, but 7% of you are. So that's only 15 votes, though. So we'll wait till more people get in the comments. We'll revisit that later. But let's get into, sorry, I'll go back to what we were just viewing before. We'll go back to his actual video that he put out, which is actually here. And we'll go into some of these comments by the viewers of the Liver King and people that just sort of pop up there as well. So we'll get into that shortly as well. But let's switch back and we'll go to this and we'll go to the Liver King's video.
I'm making this video to apologize. Because I fucked up. Because I'm embarrassed and ashamed. Because I lied. And I misled a lot of people. I've stated that this is a complicated as fuck topic, at least to me it is, because before social media, I was rich and anonymous, and after social media, I'm still rich, but no longer anonymous, and I never expected this kind of exposure in the public eye.
Now, I want to push back on that. Now, he said he never expected this kind of exposure in the public eye. Maybe he never meant the level of exposure he actually got to, but he actually outlined in some of these emails, which we did put in a previous video. If you do want to go back and watch that, you can watch that one, or you can go straight to Derek from No Plates, More Plates, More Dates video. But that one's about an hour long. But basically, he does say he's put so much resources into making this, and then he said they want 1 million people following on Instagram when they had no people by a certain month and stuff. So they did expect, obviously, big things from this, but they did, I think, exceed their expectations as well. But yeah, he definitely knew he was going to be in the public eye.
It's been tricky as fuck to navigate. Well, clearly I did it wrong, and I'm here now to set the record straight. Yes, I've done steroids, and yes, I am on steroids, monitored and managed by a trained hormone clinician. Liver King, the public figure, was an experiment to spread the message, to bring awareness to the fore.
So he says Liver King was an experiment. Let's get. I just want to go back and listen to that actually, what he exactly said. Let's play it.
Liver King, the public figure, was an experiment to spread the message, to bring awareness to the 4,000.
Liver King, the public figure, was an experiment. So I don't know if this means that he's actually giving up the whole Liver King thing. It doesn't seem like it. I don't think that he would put on this voice, because we've seen him speak, even in his videos on his story, when he's speaking to his family and people that he, talks to at a dinner table with this sort of chair and all that sort of stuff. Obviously, that's a bit put on. I don't think they were living like that prior to embarking on this whole Liver King thing. But it's I don't know. It's just seems funny that he's using sort of his Liver King voice to actually do this apology. I think he might sort of just drop that for this and say, look, I'm sorry, I'm going to be open about my usage. It is all through, a medical clinic or whatever, and actually put it out that way. That would make more sense to me. But he's still sort of rolling with that Liver King voice for the apology.
People a day who kill themselves. The 80,000 people a day that try to kill themselves. Our people are hurting at record rates with depression, autoimmune, anxiety, infertility, low ambition in life. Our young men are hurting the most, feeling lost, weak, and submissive. So I made it my job to model, teach, and preach a simple, elegant solution called ancestral living, the 9 ancestral tenets, so our people no longer have to suffer, so we can collectively express our highest and most dominant form. This is my fight. This is why I exist.
Now, I will say, some people will question his motives. Is it all financial? Potentially it is. But what he's actually putting out there is not something dangerous. I think what a lot of supplement companies and whatnot put out there in terms of just really super high stimulant products that are marketed towards, young lifters and things like that. I think that is obviously a so much more dangerous thing to actually push out there and try to get young kids and young people following that, rather than his methods. I think, unless you can say eating raw organs is potentially dangerous, I think is much healthier. Eating these sort of organ meats is actually really healthy in itself. And I don't want anyone to be turned off, these sort of healthy things that he does in terms of grounding himself, walking on, the earth and all that sort of stuff, and getting sun in the morning. That's very beneficial for sleep at night. It actually, sets your body's circadian rhythms a lot better. So he does have a lot of things that he says are right. And his products, I haven't checked them out myself, but they're probably pretty good. They're probably something that's a lot better than you can get in other products out there on the market. I haven't checked it out for myself, so I could have to stand corrected on that. But anyway, let's get back into his confession.
While spreading the message, I've been on several podcasts, and when asked if I've ever taken steroids, I've always said no. I don't touch the stuff, not gonna touch the stuff, never touch the stuff.
He did say that he always says he's not going to touch the stuff. He actually did say in one of them that he said, I've actually thought about it. I think I might, or he said, I might do it one day or whatever. And he said, because one of the ancestral tendencies, whatever he uses, ancestral things, I can't actually think of a word for it or whatever he says, is actually having a bit of fun or living a little or something like that. So he actually said he would consider it in the future, but he only said that on, I think, one podcast or interview that he actually did. So
that was a lie. I've convinced myself that this had nothing to do with the ancestral message. I convinced myself that I'm not a competitive athlete of any kind, so who the fuck am I cheating? I convinced myself that this topic was a placeholder for a far more important conversation. I convinced myself that this would overshadow the 36 years of working out, usually twice a day, without PEDs. I've convinced myself that this was the vocal minority, usually in the fitness category, driving to an unproductive conversation. And I had convinced myself that this would be the wrong message to send to the 15-year-old boys. So I continually dismissed it, and I dug myself into a bigger and deeper hole. I have only myself to blame. I did that, and it was all wrong.
I think a lot of what he actually is saying there is true. So I think when he said, I dug myself into a bigger hole, because he was going on these podcasts and when you get asked about the PD question, you've sort of got to go one way or the other these days. So you've got to say that, yeah, I'm using them and this is how I do it and I do it through this way and sort of justify it. Or you could take the Rich Piana method or Boston Lloyd method where you come out and say, this is what I'm doing, and you have these huge cycles and you're obviously doing a lot of stuff, which is not what he's doing, so he's not going to do that. And he made a decision to say, because he does have kids and there are kids that look up to him, to say that no, he's doing it all natural and, leaned into obviously what he's doing in his methods, and he has products, he's selling stuff, all that sort of stuff. That is the reason for his physique, and that's what the issue is, because looking the way he looks in terms of the amount of muscle and the look of the muscle as well, people that follow bodybuilding and have been in a while, like I can see that sort of look. That would be very rare on someone who is fully natural, because he's obviously pushing himself a lot with how many workouts he does, regardless of what organ meats and stuff you're doing. I think that's sort of how he tried to sell it. So some people would have gone, wow, if that's giving him all these benefits, maybe he is natural or just doing a little bit of like TRT, I'll try it, So that's, I think, where it's disingenuous, and that's where I think the apology is warranted, but I don't think all of what he puts out is bad.
Will be better. I will talk about it openly, because I believe that there's a time and a place for pharmacological intervention monitored and managed by a trained hormone physician. In 2021, when I was 43 years old, I didn't feel 100% physically or cognitively. So I went to get monitored and managed by a trained hormone clinician to see what the fuck was going on with my life. And so yes, it's true. I have tried several peptide combinations in an effort to increase my growth hormone, and it didn't work, meaning that my levels still remained below the normal level. So yes, it's also true that I've tried pharmaceutical grade growth hormone, and I finally found success in managing therapeutic levels in the normal range. Yes, this is true. I've continued on with 0.6 cc's of testosterone per week, roughly 120 milligrams of testosterone a week.
Now, the whole GH thing is basically when he's actually getting tested in terms of when the blood test is being taken, that's going to dramatically change, because it's not something that lasts in your system, in terms of the actual spike, a huge amount of time. So if he's doing it right before he goes, his levels are still probably going to be a lot higher than if he, does it in the morning one day, then goes the next morning and does like a faster blood test. It's going to be, I think, dramatically lower. So that could be a factor. And we did see those blood tests as well. I didn't actually feature that in my last video, but you see a bit of a spike in the second lot of blood tests, I believe, and that was to his coach at the time.
And no, I don't take any other steroids like nandrolone or winstrol, but I have tried them in the past without success. Yes, it's also true that my blood chemistry got all fucked up while taking nandrolone and winstrol.
Oh, sorry guys. I just messed up the audio there. I'll cut that out of the replay. But what I was saying was he said that he tried nandrolone, which is Deca, and also winstrol with no success. So the fact that he said he tried with no success is sort of interesting to me, because I think that his his results and for how long he's actually been on for is pretty damn impressive. In fact, he trains so hard and does all the sort of stuff that he does and has developed the physique he does while doing all the entrepreneurial stuff that he normally does. I think it's, it's hard to say when you're on, he was on what? Nandrolone, which is Deca. He was on winstrol. He was on Test Sip, I think it was, from memory. He was on growth hormone releasing peptides. He was on 10 IUs of pharmaceutical grade growth hormone a day. It's hard to say when you're like that what's actually working. So yeah, I don't know. I found that interesting.
My lipids got all deranged. My liver enzymes went sky high, which is why clinical oversight is an absolute must. Nope. The Liver King brand has had nothing, or at least very little, to do with my business success. My companies were already kicking ass, already successful before the Liver King public figure, growing at 50% year over year and still growing at the same pace after the Liver King public figure. Nope. I've never had ab implants, ab etching, or any other plastic surgery, and I sure as fuck never actually had gene editing done in Singapore. I made all of that up.
Could you imagine now if it did come out that he does have ab implants? It would be, no one would believe anything that this guy says. So, what do you guys think? Does he have ab implants? Does he not? He could just have really dense abs. I mean, they are sort of different looking, but yeah, anyway, he's denied that. But if that comes out that he's lying about that, he is done. So it'd be very risky. I thought he wouldn't actually address it in this video, but he did, which is cool to say.
It was all intended to be a joke, and that's an expression of ancestral tin. Have a little goddamn fun. Ultimately, why do I do them? When I talk about the 85% of the population that suffers from self-esteem issues, that's me. I'm part of that statistic. This is why I fucking work myself to death in the gym. This is why I do 12 to 15 blood-burning workouts a week, just to feel like I'm okay. Still, I have to absolutely crush myself to do so, and I'm wrecked physically and cognitively, and hormone replacement has helped in a profound and significant way. And still, I believe that the path to paradise is paved in fucking hell.
So I think that Liver King has some good messages. He mentions about the mental health and young guys taking their lives and stuff, and that's something that I stand for. I believe in that as well because it is a serious issue. So I think that that's a great message. So I hope that that isn't lost in this, and hopefully he does. That is something he stands for more, and he stands for more of these things. And the fact that he's going to be more, hopefully, honest about what he's using. I mean, this would be actually pretty cool now if he comes out and says, his exact things that he's using. If he's really public, I'm using this much of this much of this, my, medical practitioner said I can do this and add this in and stuff like that. It would be really interesting, and he could get hooked up with I mean, imagine if he started, bringing up HRT clinics and stuff like that and opening those, had his own like Liver King HRT clinics. That would be absolutely enormous. So, he's got his own, it could just sort of turn a different way for Liver King, and he could be making some money through some different means that way anyway.
I previously have said in a weird way, I'm grateful for the recent events that have shed light on this complicated as fuck topic. I knew I needed to take this opportunity to openly discuss everything for me to be a better human. If there are any questions that remain unanswered, send them my way. I fully own that I fucked up. I am as sorry as a man can be. And all I can do is take extreme ownership right now, be better, and lead myself to a better life as a better human. Again, thank you to everyone for the support, the criticism, the love, the hate, and above all else, the loyalty. Liver King. Out.
So anyway, that's the Liver King. That's what he had to say. What I couldn't sort of handle was this. So it was basically the start of what he said at the very start of this, the fact that he's keeping out the whole Liver King thing, and it just like the way he's standing and sitting and everything.
Primals, I'm making this video.
I just can't handle that. Primals at the very start. But anyway, let's go to bring this up, and we can go through some of the comments of what people have to say in response to Liver King's YouTube video and also his post up on Instagram. Let's go to it. So we've got, does this mean we get our money back on your supplements? Anyone who has a brain already knew, homie, no apology needed for me. That's a pretty common sentiment. I get why people are upset, but like, come on, everyone already knew. I honestly saw your denial as tongue-in-cheek. Yeah, so people, like some people just are taking this as a joke. They're not too hurt by it. But when I actually went on, I think it was Generation 9, they had a guy on there and he was like, he did a video and was very upset about it. James Smith, PT, says, fair play on doing this vid. Still a savage. I feel for Liver King, full transparency can be more powerful role model for primals than Liver Ling XLI. Yeah, so lying is subprimal, and yeah, so I believe Liver King's actually said this before as well. He said it's subprimal to do these things or something, to take anabolic steroids and all that sort of stuff. So anyway, we'll go to the YouTube comments. They're normally pretty good on these kinds of videos. And then I'll go back to the poll. So make sure if you haven't voted on the poll yet, make sure you get on there and vote. The fact that people believed he was natty at all is mind-boggling. Yeah, I was a little surprised. Some people did defend him for sure. This isn't Brian Johnson apologizing for his actions. This is the character of Liver King acknowledging he's been busted. Yeah, that literally is what it is. That's what I was saying. He's still going under the Liver King sort of thing and then saying under that character. It's like that. I love it when people get caught, then come out with the line, "I'm glad it's all out now." I lied because people are killing themselves. Is a wild take, yeah. I love those "I got busted" apologies. I'm a liar, but it's excusable because I'm bringing attention to social issues that the majority of people are already aware of. Yeah, I mean, that is the one thing as well, because, I mean, I obviously like the message and it's something good to stand for and all that sort of stuff, but it can come off as a little bit disingenuous as well when you've just been caught out lying. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. And sorry to you guys if you are seeing, here we go. Let's go to your comments anyway. Cartson Nielsen says, are the emails fake or real? I'm going to predict they're real. As far as I know, that is the same sort of format from what I've heard from other YouTubers, allegedly, that it's the same format that Vigorous Steve sends out to his other clients. So I would assume they'd be real. Vigorous Steve was on a podcast or is on a podcast with Derek from More Plates, More Dates. So I'd say they are real. I'd if I'm guessing, I'd say 99.9% sure they're real. There we go. Nah, man. Mike Hearns is on duck eggs, bro. Of course. Okay, let's look up through some of the older comments that I saw up there. Anton Hologren says, lol, people actually think liver isn't good for you just because it won't make you look like the Liver King. Yeah. He says liver is still great. Absolutely. Swelled Up says he's only sorry because he's got caught lying. Yep. Probably. Alex Sutton, why would anyone buy his products even if he was natty? No value there in any capacity. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at the actual products. They might not be all they sort of sum up to be. Let's have a look. Sorry, I had that audio issue before, guys. It said in the email he turned 40 and couldn't get rid of his back fat. I feel for him on that one. Yeah. Robert Miller says, I would bet on implants. Yeah. I think a lot of people would say that. Welcome to the Liver King Clinic. Yeah, I mean, that would do good, I think. I mean, he would have taken a little bit of a hit, but from this. I wouldn't be happy if I was the PR team managing this. Yeah, it would be a tough one. And that's like, this dude is worth apparently a lot of money, making over $100 million a year. And that's where it sort of, I mean, if this guy's only making a couple of thousand a year, it's, it's a little bit different. Primal Peptides. Yeah, that's a good one. That's from T-Ball Paul. I like that name too, in the photo. JLC says, at least he finally admitted it. Hopefully Mike O'Hearn is next. Imagine if that came out. Anyway, guys, give thumbs up. Smash that like button on this video. I appreciate you guys tuning into this one. If you like this content and you want to see my Mr. Olympia content blowing up and me getting out multiple videos per day, make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you share it out on social media. It'd be much appreciated. And yeah, once again, thank you guys so much for supporting Desktop Bodybuilding, and leave all your opinions on the Liver King in the comments below if you are watching live and if you are watching the replay as well. And I'll try to get to as many of those as possible. Anyway, guys, that's it for this one. For myself, Xavier Wills, and Desktop Bodybuilding, we are out.